Let's get ready to do this, man. Let's get ready to do this, man. Phenomenal show lined up for the day, man. Phenomenal show, phenomenal topic, man. Now, as you see, the topic is 10 spiritual benefits of only helping those who help themselves. But you know what? Let's take it from this perspective. Let's talk about the 10 spiritual benefits of helping yourself before asking others for help. How about that? Let's make it about us. Let's make it about what we need to do. Let's make it about changing our lives. Let's make it about what we can do for ourselves before we can, because these same things that you learn from helping yourself, this is the same thing that you apply to helping other people. So, all these lessons, these 10 lessons that you learn from helping yourself before you're asking for help, these are the things that you're going to make other people do before you help them. See, before you even know what helping yourself means, you got to be able to determine how someone helping themselves. Are they truly helping themselves? And the only way to find that out is by helping yourself first before asking for help. Then you find out what you're dealing with in the world. A lot of times people go from what they heard, they go from what they read, but the best teacher in the world is experience. Because experience will take all of these different variables into consideration that a book can't take into consideration. So it's kind of like when you look at psychology, okay, if this is your behavior, this is the diagnosis, this is the treatment. Okay, well, what if there is a variable in the situation that makes that not my particular diagnosis? You're just going to give it to me anyway. So, what we like to do, we like to live from experience. So, let's get into this, man. Famo, salute, man. Good to see you in the building as well, my brother D. Flemings. So, let's talk about the benefits of helping yourself before asking for help, which will then turn itself in your life into the 10 spiritual benefits of only helping those who help themselves. Because here's the thing about it. If you're not helping yourself, then I'm not helping you. I'm doing it all. You see what I'm saying? If we have to clean a building and you're not doing, and you, if you have to clean the building and you ask me to come help you and you don't do any of the work, then being the man that I am, I'm going to stay there until the work is done. So before you know it, I've done all of it. You can't trust someone to start to help themselves after you help them, because helping yourself is something that's entrenched into your being, into your psyche, into your spirit. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of your makeup. So let's get into this, man. All right. The first benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you learn exactly what you're capable of. See, when you don't have any help, you understand that your absolute best effort is required, because you don't expect to get the result you want, but to get as close as you can to that result, you need to give your very best effort. So if you do everything you can before asking for help, you learn just how much of that you can do. You never know what your result is going to be until you give it your effort. You never know how much help you need until you give it your effort. How do you know what you can't do? Until you try. How do you know what you're going to need? Until you try and realize what you can do. So when someone asks you for money and say, man, I need $500, man, to pay a bill. How much you got? I ain't got none of it. Well, go get some more of it, because I can only give you $100. Come back to me when you got 400, because I'll give you $100. My $100 ain't gonna be the first $100, but I don't mind my $100 being the last one. Either way it go, I'm gonna give you $100. But my $100 needs to be the last $100, not the first. And so people will look at that and say, man, you're just being selfish, man. You being, why does it matter? It matters because I want to see if you're helping yourself first. You have to help yourself in order to understand how. You never know. If you help yourself, you might be able to get all of it instead of coming to me for the 500. And this is one of the things that you have to understand. And here's another thing, especially when it comes to money. We'll stick to that because that's what people ask for most of the time when they want help. People will take their money and do something else with it and then come to you and ask to replace the money. A lot of times when people ask for money, it's not because they don't have it, it's because they wasted it or blew it on something else. And so what you have to do is make sure that you're the type of person where, because listen, I'm not finna go to anyone if I don't have any of it and say, hey, I need you to help me. No, that's not helping you. That's taking care of you. As a man, the last thing you want is for somebody to have to take care of you. Like, we grown men. We don't want anyone to have to try to take care of us. We don't want to have to go to someone and say, hey, I need you to provide for me. I need you to be my provider. I need you to take care of me. I need you to be my provider and protector. You might as well go be a wife. The second benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you develop a forget the world type of focus and determination to succeed. When you accept the fact that nobody's going to help you, then you know what? You kind of you I'm not going to say bitter, but you have a little animosity about that. Ain't no man, ain't nobody going to help you. Just assume that everybody you going to ask going to say no. Nobody's going to help you. They don't care about what you do, how you succeed. So you develop this forget the world mode, and that all that does is throw you into the type of focus determination that you need to succeed. Anyone who has succeeded at anything will tell you that they had to go through some things. They had to do without people. They had to do without friends. They had to do without a mate. They had to do without family. They had to do without a lot of things. They had to pass on a lot of things. They had to do without food sometimes. You got to do what you got to do if you want to get to where you want to get to. And the easiest way to do that is to understand that nobody cares about you getting there until you get there. Think about a celebrity. Think about how a celebrity can, they got to buy, they just like us, they got to buy all these expensive clothes when they ain't got the money. And then when they become rich and famous, guess what? They give them the clothes. They give them the clothes for free because no one wants to help you unless there's a benefit to helping you. Trust me. People may say, no, man, you ain't got to give it back to me. When people say, you don't have to give it back to me, they know you don't have it to give back. Or when they say, just give it back to me when you can, they know you're not going to be able to give it back to them at this time. You're saying, if you can't tell somebody when you're going to pay them back, then you're not going to pay them back. You're not asking for a loan. You're not asking for help. You're asking for a give me. You're asking for a freebie. And I'm going to be honest with you. If it's not your family or your woman, it takes a whole lot to just give. You know what I'm saying? Oh, unless we're talking about the less fortunate, like we're talking about giving to the absolute less fortunate, that's something different. But I'm talking about somebody who's saying, can you help me do this? Help you do what? How much of it have you done? I learned this from a valuable lesson, man. Me and my partner, man, we were trying to get someone to invest in a project. And we had money, but we wanted to invest somebody else's money. And so we were talking to this guy, man. His money was long, and we were talking to him, and he was like, "Okay, oh man, that sounds good. Sound like a great business plan, great everything, great layout. I think it'll work. How much you guys? How much you guys putting on it?" We said nothing. He said, "Well, if you ain't putting me either." And when he said that, we were like, all right, hold up, man, hold up. All right, we'll put this on." He like, nah, y'all go ahead and put something on it and build it up, and then come back to me. I learned a valuable lesson then that people, it doesn't matter how great your idea is, it doesn't matter how great your plan is. People want to see what you have done to exercise that plan, to make that plan a reality, to bring that goal into fruition. What have you done to make it happen? That's what people want to know. They want to see what you're doing to make it happen. And a lot of times you're not doing anything to make it happen. It's just a dream you have. Nobody cares about your dream. Once you wake up, the dream is over. People care about visions. People care about goals. People care about actionable steps to reach those goals. The number three benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you become the good kind of selfish after realizing you're all you got. Man, there's a good kind of selfish. You know what the good kind of selfish is? I don't owe nobody but me. I owe me. That's the good kind of selfish. I owe me. I don't owe you. I don't owe them. I owe me. You know why? Because when I was up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, because that's the only time that was quiet, recording content, recording enough content that where I didn't have to record during the day. And then I'm up at 3 or 4 in the morning, going to sleep at 4 in the morning, waking back up at 8 so I can edit content from 8:30 to 1:30. Then I got to go pick my son up, man. No, nobody was up with me. I was doing that. So I owe me. When you were at that truck driving school, man, going through all that, dealing with that instructor who didn't even like you for real, man, and dealing on there with them knuckleheads who were just there because they wanted to look like they was doing something, man, and you was out there in that truck all nervous, man, first time in that truck, when you was getting those bad gigs and those bad trips and bad loads your first year truck driving, man, you was all up in the mountains and them crazy places, man, with them bad loads going to them bad places, man, going on them bad roads. Wasn't nobody on that road but you. You was on that road by yourself. When you were working out and training, man, to become an MMA fighter, man, who was in that ring taking them bumps and bruises with you? No one was. It was just you. Unless you want to credit your opponent, your sparring opponent. Give him some credit. He about the only one in the world deserves some credit for being in that ring with you. He's the one who helped you get better. Maybe you owe your coach or your trainer. But see, very few people are going to be in the part of your struggle that is the hardest, in the part of your journey that is the most tedious, in the part of your trip that is the most arduous. Most people are not going to be in that part of it because they won't be in that part of it in their own life. Most people are not going to work the hard part of their own lives. So you have to stop expecting people to work the hard part of yours with you. So you become the good kind of selfish because you realize you all you got. And you know how you realize you all you got? Because when you look back at the hard times and the trying times, you realize you were all you had. See, if you were all you had, you better assume you all you got. You understand? If you were all you had, you better assume if you were all you had during the hard time, guess what? You better be all you got during the good time, during the smooth time. Because you know what? Hard time may show up again. Every time you start off something new, you got to go through the trip again. You got to go through the travels again. You got to go through the struggle again, man. Now, the struggle ain't going to be as bad once you start to establish things, because then you start to connect with people who are going to contribute because you have already established yourself. When you establish yourself, people will come through and contribute. People will come through and give their aid to the hard part of your life. Why? Because there's a win on the record already. When you're 1-0, you're a winner. You may not have as many wins as the man that's 10-0, but you 1-0. That means you're a winner. You ain't never lost. A 1-0 record is the perfect record. Because that means you had one opportunity to prove yourself and you went out there and you won. Every win you pile on top of that is just a repeat of the process. That first win, that first battle, if it don't end in a loss, guess what? You are a winner. And people love winners, man. The number 4 benefit of helping yourself before asking others for help, and therefore only helping those who help themselves, there is a level of respect you gain from those who are in positions to help you on your journey. As I stated earlier, when people see you doing what you want to do, they want to help you do that. You could listen, you could have the best music ever. Send it out to every label, everywhere. Nobody's going to respond. You can have average music and get out there and work it and build a following. And those same labels who will not call back for your amazing music will call out and reach out to you and start a bidding war once they see you out there working your mediocre music. People need to see your vision at work. A vision is a wonderful thing, but we all got them. A dream is a wonderful thing, but we all have them. People want to see you out there working your dream. How are we going to make that dream a reality? First of all, you want me to give you the money and you want me to work the plan too? No, work the plan as best you can. If you work the plan, it ain't got to make you a lot of money. If I see the plan working, I'll put the money in the plan to make money. So there's a level of respect you gain from those who are in position to help you on your journey, even if it's just giving you information. And that's number 5. The number 5 benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you realize you don't need help as much as you need information. See, when you're trying to build something, the roadblocks you run into are informational roadblocks. You need to know how to navigate this. People are more willing to give you information because when you only need information, they know that you're on the road to success. They know that you're on the path you need to be on. They know that you're going in the direction you need to go in, and they are willing to buy into that. People want to buy into that. People want to be a part of the journey that you already own. Nobody wants to get in the car with you at the beginning of the journey because especially you don't even know where you're going. If you need help at the beginning of the journey, you don't know where you're going. If you can't take the first step, man, I don't want to walk with you. And this is what you have to understand, man. If God has blessed you to be the one, there's one in every family. My cousin and I were talking about this the other day, man. When you look around, we the ones. In our family, we the ones. Just me and him, we the ones. And when you're the one, you got to understand people who need your assistance cannot ever assist you. They don't have nothing for you. Times get super hard for you. They may give you somewhere to lay your head, but then it ain't gonna be the way it need to be. Because guess what? They still need help, and you can't help them at that time. And now you're around them all the time in their crib. That's why you could be married, man, for 10 years and be living well. You hit a rough patch or whatever, man. Before you know it, you divorced within 6 months. You've been married 10 years. Everything was good. There was no signs of there was no chinks in the armor or anything on the surface. And so you were just riding along. You hit a rough patch, and in 6 months, you ain't got no wife no more. Why? Because she needs you. She needs your assistance. She needs you for the lifestyle. She can't live it without you. And she don't want to live it with you. You understand? She can't live the lifestyle without you, but she don't want to live less than the lifestyle with you. So when you think about it, man, there are two kind of people in the world. There are people who need help, accept they need help, and don't mind asking for help, and will ask anybody for help. And then there are people who were born to be helpers of others, and we don't ask for help. We'll figure it out. No matter what kind of struggle we got to go through, man, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We will figure it out. The number 6 benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you appreciate what you do for self much more than what people give you. If you do for self, you appreciate it. Why? Because you saw every step of the grind to get to that one small victory. When you do for self, every little victory counts so much. It means so much, especially that first one. When you make that first little bit of progress, man, listen, I'll give y'all a perfect example. BOA channel. I grinded for a year on that channel before I got monetized. Grinded for a year. And then when I got monetized, I had so much content that couldn't be monetized. So during when I first started, I was making content that couldn't be monetized. About 8 months in. So it actually took me 4 months to get monetized because I just started making a bunch of different content about 8 months in. And after that, all of a sudden, man, you know what popped up in my account? $70. I was like, wait a minute. Where did that $70 come from? What y'all mean I got $70? Where it come from? I said, wait, $70? Wait a minute. So I just been coming on here talking my talk and I made some money for it? I'm like, well, hold up. Well, let me start looking at this thing another way. But that $70, I tell people about that $70 all the time, man. That $70 was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had as a content creator. Because before that, I didn't even know I was a content creator. I was just on here, man, giving information to guys because I knew they needed it. I knew what was being said. I knew what wasn't being said. I knew that there was very little information like the information I was giving. Not from a man who hadn't been hurt, from a man who hadn't been done wrong, from a man who hadn't been taken advantage of. And man, that $70 was a lick. Boy, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh man, but it was a small victory. It was a victory I wasn't even thinking of. And so that's what you have to do. The benefits of helping yourself, one of the major benefits of helping yourself, this is one just off the cuff. You start to get benefits that you didn't even expect. You get benefits from achieving things, from making progress that you didn't even accept. Sometimes you making progress and you didn't even know it. That's why you have to try to help yourself first, because you don't know what progress is out there for you. You don't know what benefits are out there for you. You don't know what rewards are out there for you. You don't know what awards are out there for you. You don't know what people are out there to be in your corner. You don't know what support system is out there for you. You don't know what God got for you until you meet him at the spot where he got that thing for you. If there's a blessing for you 5 blocks down the road, it ain't gonna never be 4 blocks down the road until you walk a block. If there's a message for you in 10 miles down the road, it ain't gonna never be 5 miles down the road until you travel 5 miles. If there's a blessing for you at the age of 30, it ain't gonna never be 5 years away. And you 20 right now, it's 10 years away. It ain't gonna never be 5 years away until you navigate life and make it to 25. The things that are on your path are on your path. They're not going to meet you halfway. You got to go down the path of life. You got to travel the journey that you need to be traveling. You got to get up, get out, and do something. You got to make a move, man, instead of sitting down worrying about what you can't do. Tell yourself what you can do. Go find out what you can do. Make yourself believe what you can do. Show other people what you can do. Benefits of helping yourself before you ask for help is that you become a man. You become a man. You open up doors that you can't open up as a boy. You start to see things that you can't comprehend as a boy. You become an independent thinker. You become an independent mover. There are certain things you can see as an independent mover, but that you can't see as a dependent. When you're dependent on somebody else, they see those things. When you start depending on you, you see those things. Swig of water here, man. Julius Hawkins, appreciate the 2 bones, man. What's up, Ray Ray in chat? Salute, brother. Appreciate you being in here. Now, what we have to remember is that only you know what your purpose is in life. Other people don't know what your purpose is until you start to live within that purpose. Other people don't know what your mission is until you start to live within that mission. Other people don't know what your position is until you start to establish that position. So no one knows how to help you because they don't even know who you are or what you're doing. Like D. Fleming said, there's no greater reward than accomplishing something on your own. There's no greater reward. Think about this. The greatest accomplishments that you remember as a little kid, when you took those first steps, there ain't a kid alive nowhere that take those first steps and don't be laughing. I'm talking about straight giggling, man. Best thing in the world, man. You are taking steps. It's a totally different feeling. You are walking unassisted, and boy, what a feeling. You remember that. You finally started to walk. And then you just start walking. You never think about walking again. First time you ride a bike, man, you take off, you got them trainer wheels on that bike, man, and you just, well, you ride. Now you, all of a sudden, you want the trainer wheels off, because you see, man, the bigger kids, they got their trainer wheels off. So you know what you do? You ride, and you ride, and you ride. You may ride around the yard just in case you fall in the grass. And suddenly, you get them trainer wheels off. You know what you remember? The first time you rode that bike without trainer wheels off. Any other thing you remember is when you were on your bike and an experience happened. You don't remember every day you rode your bike, but you will never forget that first time. You know why? Because you did it. We've been getting rewarded for doing for self since we were children. And now as an adult, we done forgot how to get rewarded for doing for self. Nobody can ride that bike for you the first time. Nobody can take those steps for you the first time. Nobody can go potty for you the first time. Nobody can take that little plastic spoon and toy dish and feed you for the first time. You got to do these things for self. But we become adults and we start to forget what it means to do for self. We start to forget the benefits of doing for self. We start to forget the self-healing principles of doing for self. And always trying to get somebody to do something for us. Always trying to get somebody to do something for us. The number 7 benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you are less likely to be taken advantage of by people who live lazily and are disengaged in their own process of progress. Once you figure out what it feels like and what it seems like and what it sounds like to what it tastes like to do for self, you ain't gonna never be taken advantage of by somebody that's living lazily and ain't doing for themselves. You start to identify somebody who ain't doing for themselves by their actions, by their words, by their outlook. You start to identify them and you look at them like, man, I ain't giving you nothing. Anything I give you is a loss. I can't afford to take no losses. Losses ain't for bosses. A boss passes along the cost of the loss. I say again, the boss passes along the cost of the loss. So when you reap and that's one of the major benefits, man, that keeps you from getting trapped in a situation where you are on the hook for somebody else's mistake. You are on the hook for somebody else's lack of functionality when it comes to financiality. You are on your own and you see what it means to do that. And so you realize that the only people worth helping is people who are doing for self. You doing for self may not get you nowhere near where you need to be, but it's going to get you somewhere. You doing for self, it may get you 1 inch forward. But if I see you go that inch forward, guess what? I'm going to help you go 2 inches. If you're standing in the same spot and you say you need help and I come back the next day and you in the same spot, I'm turning my back on you because you ain't even trying. Doing for self simply means trying, giving your best effort. You don't know what you can do. I don't know what you can do, but I know you can try. I know you can try to see what you can do. I know you can give it your best shot. I know you can work it the best way you can. And so when you understand that people are going to try to take something from you, if you're willing to give it, and sometimes people don't even have any intent on giving you anything in return, but they say they do. Sometimes people don't have any intent on paying you back, but they say they do. Sometimes people don't even want to use what you're giving them for what they need to use it for, or what they telling you they need to use it for. But they're going to try to convince you they do. They're going to come to you with tears in their eyes, man, and them loud, sorrowful cries, and they're going to try to get you to do what they want you to do, whether they helping themselves or not. Because here's the thing, if you ain't helping yourself, whatever I give you ain't gonna make you help yourself. I'm just enabling you to not help yourself. The more I give, the more you live, but you ain't gonna do nothing to help yourself maintain that life. And I'm not gonna take on the responsibility of helping you live. You know why? Because I've never asked anyone to take on the responsibility of helping me live. I never asked anyone to take listen, even when you're shooting bad and you got to go live in somebody's house, that person ain't feeding you, that person ain't paying your bills, that person ain't doing none of that. You just got a place to live. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever ask somebody to provide for you. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever ask somebody as a grown man to take care of you. I'm going to keep going because I know ain't nobody going to put a 1 in the chat. Oh, Alex Jackson, good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. King Uzu, appreciate the $100 sponsorship of the show, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank God. Just thank God. Thank you, Lord, for everything. That's it, man. That's it. You know what? That's well put, man. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to thank God. Let's take a moment. Because the number 8 benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you learn to rely on God more than man. You see how that brother King Uzu just came in here and said, thank God. Just thank God. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Why? Because when you do for self, you realize that no one else is in your corner 100% of the way except God. You know that the Most High is the only one that's going to hold you down no matter what. That's going to be there with you no matter what. The good time, bad time, all the time. The hard time, the soft time. He going to be there with you. The fast time, the slow time. He going to be there with you. The high time, the low time. He going to be there with you every step of the way. And then sometime he the one taking the step because he carrying you like a baby. So let's take a moment to appreciate the greatest benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you begin to rely on God more than man and therefore appreciate God. You appreciate God because the reason you rely on God more than you rely on man is because you know man will falter. Man may not be there the entire time. Man will say they're going to be there and still not show up. Man will be there 1 minute and then turn around and be gone. So this whole dependent thing of depending on others to be there for you, depending on others to hold you down, depending on others to do things for you, you can't do it, man. Life don't work like that. Life don't work like that. Stay strong, push forward, and maintain. Represent and maintain. Represent and maintain. It's the King Ray motto. Represent and maintain. Represent our spirit man. Represent the godly version of ourselves. Represent the one that leads us through this turbulent, tumultuous episode that is life. Represent and maintain. The number 9 benefit of helping yourself before asking for help is you may be able to make it all the way to the finish line without any outside help. Now, am I saying you can make it without any assistance? No, assistance work for you. So if you get an assistance, those people are assistants. I'm talking about help, outside help. You may be able to make it all the way to the finish line without any outside help. God may give you all the outside help you need, and you may not even need any outside help for this first goal you're trying to reach. It's all inside, baby. If you focus on the things you need to focus on doing for self, you may be able to make it all the way to the finish line. Now think about this. There's a huge difference between making it to the finish line and having to give someone else credit for helping you get there and making it to the finish line by yourself with you and your team. See, those people who assist you, that's your team. You hope they stay with you for the long haul because you can depend on their work, you can depend on their focus, you can depend on their energy. So you want those people to stay with you long term. You're fine with those people staying with you long term because you need them to stay with you long term. But help, that's somebody who ain't even on your team. That's somebody outside who's giving you something. Just because. You may be able to make it all the way without that. Why risk that you won't? If you need somebody, need them because you have done everything you can do. Don't need them because you don't know what's going to happen. And you know that if they give you that, hey man, it's about wanting to succeed. It's about wanting to be the one responsible. Yes, if you need someone you get to a point where you need some help, you got to get some help. You got to ask for some help. But it's about striving to be the one who makes it without needing help. Striving to be the one who makes it without relying on outside influences or outside help. That's the goal. If you can't do that, fine, but you better try. At least give it a shot. At least give it a shot. And the number 10, a final benefit of helping yourself before asking for help. You build the confidence that only comes from getting things done. There's a confidence that you will never have in yourself, in your ability, in your relationship with God, if you don't get things done at least once. You got to get things done at least once. You gotta, man, listen, there is no greater benefit to a man in life than to get things done. Get something done. When I say get it done, take it from start to finish. Get it from the starting line to the finish line. If you take anything in life at any point, from the starting line to the finish line, and it may be something different for you. There are guys who were in the military who didn't take it to the finish line. They got out of that thing. There are other guys who took it to the finish line. Those guys are different because they took it to the finish line. Now, if you didn't take that to the finish line, you had to get out and take something else to the finish line. Let's say a guy who started off overweight and then he wanted to compete in a fitness show or a bodybuilding show. That guy took it to the finish line. When he's on that stage, looking good enough to be on that stage, going all the way from that, guess what that guy did? He took it to the finish line. You got to take something to the finish line. If you're a content creator and you start off from 0 subscribers like we all do, and you keep building and building and building until you become a full-time self-sustaining content creator, you took it to the finish line. Let me tell you something, boy. If you start school and you go through that first year, that second year, you want to quit that junior year and you don't, and you go ahead and you get that degree, guess what? You saw it through to the finish line. Boy, let me tell you something. If you're a parent and you got them children, man, and you take them all the way, boy, when they turn 21, they adults. Guess what you did? You took it all the way to the finish line, boy. There are many things you could do to take it to the finish line. You got to figure one of them out and you got to do it. There is nothing more beneficial to a man than to build a confidence that only comes from getting things done. From getting things done, man. Young brother Markel starting his journey. Started his journey. Start from 0. All our journeys start from 0. Anything you want to do, the journey starts from 0. It always starts from 0. Starts from ground 0. That's it. After that, who knows where you can go? But you got to put your very best effort forward, man. So let's do a recap. The benefits of helping yourself for asking for help from others, which in turn juxtaposes itself as or against 10 spiritual benefits of only helping those who help themselves. Number 1, you learn exactly what you're capable of when you give your absolute best effort. You never know how much help you need until you give your best effort to see how far you can go. Number 2, you develop a forget the world type of focus and determination to succeed. When you know that all you depend on is you be like, man, forget the world. Y'all ain't gonna help me no way. Let me do my thing over here. Number 3, you become the good kind of selfish after realizing you're all you got. And after realizing you got to go and forget the world mode, you become the good kind of selfish. Why? Because when it was bad and you was grinding, wasn't nobody there. See, people expect you when you were on your own grinding, nobody was there. When you suddenly make good, when you suddenly become successful, you supposed to just be out here. Here's some for you. Here's some for you. There's some for you. Oh, you ignored me when I was coming up. It doesn't matter. Here you go. No, that's not how this goes. You become the good kind of selfish. You know what the good kind of selfish is? I deserve all of this because I did all the work. God don't want that but the glory. That's all he want. God get all the glory. All the work that it took to get that glory from God, I did the work. Number 4, there's a level of respect you gain from those who are in a position to help you on your journey. So those people who you would have asked for help, they give you a greater respect when they see you doing it yourself. Because here's the thing about it. People who have done it themselves, they know when you're at a point where you can do it yourself. And the worst thing you could do is ask them for help when they know for a fact you haven't done all you can do because they've been there before. Number 5, you realize you don't need help as much as you need information. The greatest thing you can be is in a position where all you need is information. Hey, man, I've hit this roadblock. Information simply means you've hit a roadblock. But you know what? You know what you got to do to hit a roadblock? You got to be traveling on the road. You're never going to hit a roadblock if you ain't traveling on the road. You're never going to hit a dead end if you ain't traveling on the road. You're never going to do any of those things. Sometimes you hit a dead end in life, and you know what happens? You think you're supposed to turn around and go find somewhere to go with your car. No, you're supposed to get out your car, go through that fence, walk a little bit, and there's another better car on the other side of that fence through them bushes. But you got to understand where to go. That's why you need information. Now, you don't turn around. You done with this car. You come as far as you can come in this vehicle. We got a big rig on the other side for you because you about to carry some blessings with you from the next step. You can't let the dead end stop you. That's when you request information. People will give information before they'll give any other type of assistance. Number 6, you appreciate what you do for self much more than what people give you because ain't nobody gave you nothing. When you help yourself, you appreciate what you do for self more than what people give you because ain't nobody gave you nothing. You start out with people giving you stuff, you become used to that, and you become useless to people. Number 7, you are less likely to be taken advantage of by people who live lazily and are disengaged in their own process of progress. You will not be taken advantage of by somebody who not helping themselves because you know what it look like. It stick out like a sore thumb. It can't even hide from you. You know it when you see it. And when you see it, you know you can't be it. Number 8, you may be able to make it all the way to the finish line without any outside assistance, any outside help. You may be able to make it all the way. You got your team of people that assist you in the things you need, and then the rest of the way, man, you don't know. Boy, you may be able to make it with just you and your team. A lot of times you make it with just you and your team. You don't need any outside help. When people from the outside help, they want ownership of something. Number 9, you learn to rely on God more than man. Why? Because you realize that God is the one who poured out the many manifold blessings that you have received on your journey. The little bit of motivation you needed, the little bit of, inclination that you needed to keep moving on, man. God gave you that. All the little things. See, God can give you things that people can't give you. People can assist you with some money. People can assist you with some information. God can give you peace of mind. God can give you rest. God can give you an absolute, shelter from stress. And number 10, you build a confidence that only comes from getting things done. In other words, there's a confidence that comes from seeing something through from the start to the finish that you can't get if you're a quitter. So listen, brothers, I appreciate y'all being in here, man. MR, salute to you, brother. I appreciate the dime. Once you set a goal and achieve it, the confidence that comes with that is a great feeling. It's a great feeling. So you set another goal. Once God sees that you're serious, other elements will come into play to help you. Exactly, brother. Exactly. Once God sees that he can rely on you to take advantage of what he's giving you, he will give you more. He will give you more. It's funny that we could do that at our jobs. We could do that in all these other walks of life. But when it comes to doing it in your life, showing God that you deserve the benefits of having more, you don't do it. So, brothers, I appreciate y'all, man. Again, man, to MR and the good brother King Uzu, I appreciate you, brothers. I appreciate you. And like King Uzu said, man, thank God. Just thank God. Thank you, Lord, for everything. I mean, for everything, man. So, brothers, I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, y'all tune in, man. We'll be back in the King Ray Ray show tomorrow, man, where we will have another phenomenal show. I told you, man, we about to let King Ray Ray go this year. 2023 is the year of King Ray Ray, man. King Ray Ray about to put it up. We about to do it, man. We're trying to get this channel to by the end of the year, man, we want this channel to 100,000 subs, man. So let's work. Let's get it. Y'all spread the word about the phenomenal content on this channel, man. The phenomenal benefit of being a part of this channel, being a part of the kingdom, man. And hey, man, I see y'all on the next one. My brothers SJ3, Famo. I appreciate y'all, man. As always, peace.